24 patients die in Karnataka hospital allegedly due to oxygen shortage. In Delhi, government seeks army's help in creating additional beds in the capital. India's cases dip as testing drops, but deaths are on the rise. The government says there are early signs of cases plateauing in Delhi and Maharashtra. Now, final year medical students to be deployed for COVID duties. NEET PG exams postponed for at least 4 months. Medical personnel completing 100 days of COVID duties will be given priority in government recruitment. People may be dying in the country, but Central Vista project goes full steam. Environmental clearance given for the 13,500 crore rupee project. New Prime Minister's residence to be ready by December next year. Mamata Banerjee to be sworn in as Bengal Chief Minister on Wednesday. Stalin to take oath as Tamil Nadu CM on Friday. They say tackling COVID is their top priority. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. Indians are dying across the country, not just of COVID, but also because of lack of oxygen. There's desperate cry for life-saving oxygen across India. 24 patients have died at a hospital in Karnataka, allegedly due to shortage of oxygen. At a hospital in Madhya Pradesh, relatives claim that 4 patients died as the hospital ran out of oxygen. Officials, though, in Madhya Pradesh deny that there was any oxygen shortage. In Uttar Pradesh, a desperate bid by sisters to save their mother. Sisters gave mouth-to-mouth resuscitation in a bid to save their mother. That's the reality India and Indians are grappling with every day. Let's first turn our focus to Karnataka, where 24 patients died at a government hospital. The tragedy happened in Chamarajanagar. The deaths, families say, was due to drop in oxygen supply.
Tragedy in Karnataka's Chamarajanagar district, with 23 COVID patients dying at this government district hospital in less than a day. Relatives allege that a lack of oxygen caused at least some of the deaths. Rajana got an SOS call at midnight from his nephew, who had got married just a couple of months ago.
ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನನಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ದಯಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನಮಗೂ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೂ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಲೋಕೇಶ್ ಅಂತ ಟೀಚರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಯಾರೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಮೆಸೇಜು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟನೆ ಅಂತ.
The government has ordered an inquiry headed by an IAS officer on the deaths that happened between 9 a.m. on Sunday and 7 a.m. on Monday. The report should be submitted in 3 days' time. The hospital and authorities made efforts to meet the oxygen shortfall that occurred shortly after midnight.
ಆಮ್ಲಜನಕದ ಕೊರತೆಯಿಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಇದು ಕೊರತೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ DCA ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟು ಸುಮಾರು 80 ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು. ಮೈಸೂರಿನಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ಸು ಸುಲಲಿತವಾಗಿ ಏನು ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ.
The MP from neighbouring Mysuru district from the BJP says he organised over 15 cylinders.
ರಾತ್ರಿನೇ ಸದರ್ನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರೆಸಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 15 ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು 50 ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಪದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ರಾತ್ರಿ 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ 60 ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 7 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಷ್ಟಾಗಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಘಡ ಸಂಭವಿಸಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬಹಳ ದುರದೃಷ್ಟಕರ ಸಂಗತಿ.
The opposition Congress criticized the government over the deaths. Rahul Gandhi tweeted, "Died or killed. My heartfelt condolences to their families." Karnataka has been struck hard by the second deadly wave of the coronavirus. In this district, cases have shot up by almost 4,000 in the last 2 weeks. This has strained medical infrastructure. And now this loss in Chamarajnagar, leaving so many grieving families. Maya Sharma for NDTV.
And it's the same story of struggle, desperation and death in Madhya Pradesh. 4 COVID patients died at a district hospital in Barwani due to problems with oxygen supply. That's what their families have alleged. The district authorities, however, while admitting a glitch, said that only 1 person had died, and that too of cardiac arrest.
Seen inside Barwani District Hospital ward in Madhya Pradesh, where oxygen supply reportedly became low for half an hour and pushed patients into distress and attenders into a panic. Relatives claim 4 patients had died.
सिलेंडर ऑक्सीजन लाइन बंद हो गया था, कम से कम आधे घंटे तक ऑक्सीजन लाइन नहीं चला और ऊपर मेरा पेशेंट उसी की वजह से एक्सपायर हुआ है।
मेरे बच्चे की सुबह से 94 ऑक्सीजन चल रही थी, एकदम से ऑक्सीजन बंद हो गई। आधे घंटे तक अफरा तफरी मचा करी हम बोला करे कि ऑक्सीजन चालू करो, ऑक्सीजन चालू करो। मेरी गोद में मेरा बच्चा ऐसा तड़पा करा। ये इन लोगों ने कोई डॉक्टर नहीं और कोई नहीं, हमको यहाँ पर किसी ने हेल्प करी।
Even as anxious relatives vented their emotions, the district administration claims not 4 but 1 death had happened due to cardiac arrest.
जैसे ही शिकायत प्राप्त हुई तुरंत जो हमारे ऑक्सीजन मैकेनिक है उन्होंने 5 मिनट के भीतर आके उसको देखा और फ्लो को जो है नॉर्मल उसमें फ्लो को रिस्टोर किया। तो ऑक्सीजन का फ्लो कम होने से किसी प्रकार की कोई कैजुअलिटी नहीं हुई है। एक परिजन जो कार्डियक अरेस्ट थे, जो आईसीयू में थे, कार्डियक अरेस्ट से एक परिजन की मृत्यु हुई है।
ये हॉस्पिटल की लापरवाही, गैस का सिलेंडर तो लगा दिया, इसमें गैस ही नहीं है, देख लीजिए क्या पापा।
In this video from AIIMS in Bhopal, a young man says his father was fitted with an empty oxygen cylinder, nearly causing his death. A probe has been ordered into why and how that happened. With inputs from Barwani and Bhopal, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
You've seen what's happening on the ground. Now listen into what the government is saying about oxygen in the country.
मैं सभी देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करना चाहूंगा कि ऑक्सीजन की मांग में वृद्धि होने के बाद भी देश में पर्याप्त मात्रा में ऑक्सीजन उपलब्ध है और साथ ही भविष्य में कोविड केसेस में अपेक्षानुसार कमी न होने अथवा वृद्धि होने की आशंका को ध्यान में रखते हुए भारत सरकार विदेश से भी ऑक्सीजन इंपोर्ट कर रही है, जिससे कि भविष्य में भी यह पर्याप्त मात्रा में उपलब्ध रहे।
The Delhi government has sought the army's help and a defense ministry-style hospital to deal with the raging COVID crisis in the city. Writing to Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia said that Indian Army has always stood at the forefront during every time of crisis. I shall be grateful if your ministry could lend the services of our armed forces to set up, operationalize and run some COVID health facilities with about 10,000 oxygenated non-ICU beds and 1,000 ICU beds. Meanwhile, Oxygen Express is set to deliver its biggest single-day load of nearly 205 tons of oxygen to Delhi by Tuesday morning. Now, 20 Oxygen Express trains have completed their journey across India, delivering around 1,125 metric tons of liquid medical oxygen in 76 tankers. Now, India's active caseload passed the 34 lakh mark with 3,68,147 fresh infections added in the last 24 hours. Now, on paper, it is 6% lower than Sunday's spike, but also our testing significantly dropped, 3 lakh less tests. Deaths, though, are rising. Over 3,417 COVID-linked deaths have been reported since Sunday, taking the total deaths to 2,18,959. Now, the government says that there are early signs of cases plateauing in places like Delhi, Maharashtra, even Uttar Pradesh.
अगर पिछले 24 घंटे का डेटा एनालाइज करें तो पाते हैं 3,67,000 केसेस। तो शायद केसेस में कुछ हद तक हम देख रहे हैं कि केसेस में कुछ कमी पाई जा रही है, लेकिन ये बहुत ही अर्ली सिग्नल्स हैं। इसको एनालाइज करने की, इससे रिलेटेड एफर्ट्स करने की कंटिन्यूड बेसिस पर जरूरत है। यह भी हम आप लोगों की दृष्टि में लाना चाहेंगे। इसी तरीके से अगर हम रिपोर्टेड डेथ को देखें तो पाते हैं कि अगर कल यानी कि पिछले 48 घंटे पहले अगर उसमें देखें तो 3,689 डेथ्स अगर रिपोर्ट हुई थी, तो पिछले 24 घंटे में 3,417 डेथ्स भी रिपोर्ट हुई हैं। अर्ली सिग्नल्स ऑफ प्लेटोइंग उत्तर प्रदेश में भी दिखते हैं।
Back home, in what could add to the worries of COVID-hit Punjab that is witnessing a sharp spike in deaths this year, the government data has revealed that the case fatality rate is far more in rural areas than the urban population. Mohammad Ghazali reports.
In the rural areas of Punjab, more COVID patients are dying compared to urban areas, according to the government. It's 2.8% in the villages against 0.7% in urban areas. Here in Mansa, deaths have gone up by almost 25% in a month. As per Health Department data, the district reported 4 deaths in the last 3 days, but data from one crematorium of the district suggests otherwise.
कल अपने 5 आ गए जी, परसों 4 आए सीगे, अज 3 डेड बॉडियां आ गई। एक दा मैसेज आया लकड़ा तैयार कर लो जी, शाम हजे पई है, कोई पता नहीं है।
Mansa is also the epicenter of many farm agitations. Though gathering of people is restricted due to COVID, but such sites are common in several districts.
टेस्ट विरोधी मीटिंग की है, लोगों ने फैसला लिया है कि सरकार या पुलिस प्रशासन लोगों का जबरी कोरोना टेस्ट करूगा तो यह सहन नहीं किया जाऊगा। सरकार नूं साडी चेतावनी है, पुलिस नूं चेतावनी है।
The government says there is a resistance against tests and vaccination. Overall, this year, till mid-April, 3 of every 5 COVID deaths happened in rural Punjab, even though the positivity rate is much higher in the towns.
दूजी गल यह है कि शहरों के जिहड़ी वैक्सीनेशन हो रही है उसदे प्रति भी लोगों के विच बहुत अवेयरनेस है कि भी उत्थे लोकी वैक्सीनेशन वास्ते लाइनां लगा के खड़दे ने, क्यू च खड़दे ने कि सानू पहला वैक्सीनेशन लगाई जाए। पर मैंने उदों अफसोस होंदा कि जो साडे पिंडां दे विच कई गलत अंसर जिहड़े रिवर फैला के लोगों को इस लाउण तो परहेज करन लई कहंदे ने।
In Mansa district, now police are trying to motivate the rural population to get tested and vaccinated.
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੂਨੀਅਨਸ ਹੈਗੀ, ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈਗੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਖਤੀ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਲਣ ਕਰੀਏ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਖੁਦ ਦੀ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੀ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗ੍ਰਾਹਕ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮਾਸਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਹੀ ਰੱਖਣਾ।
Punjab is facing vaccine shortage and many patients from the NCR region are also moving towards Punjab to get ICU beds and oxygen beds. Amid all this, the resistance from rural areas is going to be a big challenge to contain the spread of coronavirus. With Bhupinder Khalsa in Mansa, in Chandigarh, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
So people may be dying, but the government's ambitious Central Vista project is going full steam. Amid the worst health crisis, the deadline for Prime Minister's new house has been readied. The house will be ready by December next year. The project has been given environmental clearance, Vice President's house to be completed by May 2022. The project under Central Vista costs nearly 13,500 crore rupees. All right, now shifting focus, West Bengal governor met with Mamata Banerjee a day after her massive victory in the assembly elections. She will be sworn in as Chief Minister on the 5th of May. It will be a small ceremony at Raj Bhavan. She will be sworn in alone on the 5th, and the Council of Ministers will be sworn in on the 6th. Meanwhile, there have been reports of violence from parts of Bengal. BJP offices have allegedly been attacked and shops vandalized. The BJP has called for a nationwide dharna on the 5th against what they call is widespread violence unleashed by TMC workers. Let's go across to Saurabh Gupta for more on this. Saurabh, what more details can you share with us?
Well, the BJP has been putting out complaints of several, incidents that they claim is violence against their workers, and accordingly, they've been sharing pictures as well of some of these attacks, and this is being widely shared on social media. Now, Mamata Banerjee was asked a question about this, and she said, "Look, A, I have appealed for calm everywhere, and B, secondly, the administration is not with me. The law and order is still in the hands of, in the hands of the constitutional body, because of the fact that she's not yet been sworn in for her second term, and the EC had taken over law and order. So obviously, there have been requests for help to Union Home Minister as well. Now, Mamata Banerjee says that she's appealed to everyone for calm. She says that BJP workers are also indulging in violence. Meanwhile, the BJP is claiming that their workers are being attacked. But in all, there is violence, and post-poll violence is unfortunate, and that's something that perhaps all parties need to address. And the governor, we believe, has met top police officials to also address the issue. Meanwhile, there are requests to look into the issue urgently.
All right, Saurabh Gupta, we leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us with those details. As Tamil Nadu sees a change of guard, there are indications of a new political culture, with the DMK and the AIADMK displaying a cordiality never seen before. Sam Daniel brings us more.
As DMK chief M.K. Stalin prepares to take over as Tamil Nadu chief minister on Friday, a surprise, graceful tweet by his arch-rival, outgoing chief minister EPS, congratulating his successor, saying, "I convey my best wishes to Mr. M.K. Stalin, who is to assume office as chief minister of Tamil Nadu." A marked contrast to the bitter campaign where both leaders had slammed each other. An hour later, Stalin tweeted back, thanking him and sought his suggestions to improve Tamil Nadu. He also said, "Democracy includes the ruling party and the opposition. Let's preserve that kind of democracy."
Anything that calls for the welfare for the people of Tamil Nadu during this pandemic, COVID times, and we are there. We stand by the welfare of the people. We'll definitely, whether we are in power or we are in opposition.
With the state's daily tally crossing 20,000, the DMK says containing COVID surge in the state would be Stalin's first priority, and that he has a clear plan. The DMK alliance, of which the Congress is a part, is hopeful of working with the BJP-led government at the centre to tackle challenges and fulfill the state's aspirations.
We will work together, with the central government, definitely. But when it comes to issues which are important for the state and for important to us ideologically, we will not compromise. Definitely when there are situations where we have to work with the central government, and our leader has always made it clear that in case of those situations, we will work with them.
Indications of a new political culture in Tamil Nadu as the state undergoes a change of guard amid the pandemic. While late Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi did not share such a cordiality, is M.K. Stalin trying to usher in a new brand of politics, or is it just tokenism? In Chennai with Shah Vijay, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.